Well, welcome back to the third episode of our series about OneNote and digital planning. If you're just joining us, today we're going to be talking about customizing your OneNote digital planner and how to properly set up your OneNote application for optimal settings to give you the best results when it comes to digital planning. But before we get into that, a couple things I want to share. If you are not familiar with OneNote or through the process of going through this video, you want to learn more about some of the tools, go ahead and check out this video right here. It is a deep dive where we go into all the different tools in OneNote and how you can utilize them. Everything is basic as setting up your pen tools, to changing your colors, to being able to copy and paste, import media, record audio, all those things. Even shows you how to share your notes with others. That is a great video for you to watch, and it's also a great refresher annually just to kind of get up to speed, because as we do digital planning and we learn more about OneNote, there's always new things out there that we want to work towards, which is what inspires this video. If you watched any of the previous two videos, the first video being about using OneNote as a second brain, and the second video being about the different editions of our OneNote digital planner, you've come to realize there's a lot of different opportunities, and today we're going to talk about customizing and how I set up my planner and my OneNote application. So first and foremost, you see in front of me, I have OneNote. Now I'm going to be cheating a little bit here as I go through this piece, because there's a lot of things that I want to showcase for you. I want to be able to talk to you not only about setting up your planner, how it syncs across other platforms, as well as how you can use external calendars, how you might navigate, and how you use the search functions. I want to show you how to customize the planner with tiles and how you can create your own daily pages. Now, I have a complete playlist of all the different videos that I've ever done on OneNote. It is hours of content, but every single video has its own purpose. So if there's a particular trait or aspiration that you have in OneNote, I hopefully have covered it. So go ahead, check out that playlist, look at the different titles of the different videos, and hopefully there'll be one for you. So I'm gonna go through some of the basic tools. And then one of the first things I want to show you is just basic setup of the planning system with OneNote. So first thing on the left here, we have our notebook. Our notebook is broke into what we call different sections. Sections look like this. And then there's group sections. So if you're new to our planner, you'll find that under each group section, under these quarterly pages, is the individual sections for the particular months. So if I want to get to the January daily pages, I would click on this section. That would expand open that section, and it would give us access to all the pages. And you can see here, if I click on a particular page, it takes me to that page. Now, we did do something kind of neat this year with our planning system. We did enable the ability to be able to switch background a little bit, so you can utilize a dark mode feature you would like. I personally still like to have my background in white, so if you are using a system and you have dark mode enabled and the pages don't look white, you can go to view and go ahead and switch background. The other thing you might want to do is go to history and go ahead and hide authors. This is going to be important because by hiding the authors, the initials of any contributors to the page will be hidden. So that is one area I'd like you to do. The other thing that's really important to know is under Draw, underneath the Shapes tool, is the ability to snap your grid. Now, what does this mean? If I have that turned off or turned on, and I go ahead and I click on the actual page itself and bring up the cursor, I can type in the planner. Now, that is awesome because some people don't like to always be handwriting in their planner. They want to be able to type. But if I want to move that, it was great where I clicked it, but if I go down here, it doesn't fit in the box like it should. Well, if I go back to Draw, go over to that Shape tool, and click on Snap to Grid, that allows me to freeform that type on any singular line. It's important to know that under your home settings, you want to be in the default Calibri is I think how you pronounce it, as well as font 11. This will allow you that when you're typing in a planner, everything lines up perfectly and looks great and it looks clean, and it allows you to go ahead and type in the planning system. Those are a couple tips that I want to show you right off the get-go. So navigation like that. Now you might also, if you have our hyperlink edition, if you click on any of these individual hyperlinks, they will take you to the designated pages to allow you to get to different pages in the planning system. This year to view will get you to any page in the planner within 2 clicks, and you can navigate through that. In the event you click on one of these hyperlinks and it doesn't work for you, it's likely because you have an edition like the personal or professional or business, and it doesn't have all the tools that are being listed. Don't be bothered by that. You can definitely always upgrade your planner if one of the tools is important to you, but we have those in there. We've talked in the previous edition about all the different pages, so I won't get into that today. A couple things you might want to consider doing. This allows you to kind of change the width of the first section. This enables to change the width of the second section. Now you are able to reorganize this. I just ask that you do not change any of the names of any of the sections, especially if you have hyperlinks, because that could break the links. Now you can go ahead and right click and you could add a new section. So if you want to add a section for additional notes, a project, I actually have a lot of people that'll go ahead and add a new group section, and they might go ahead and call this group section, rename it. They might call it projects. Then they might go ahead under that group section and create a new section, and they might call this Bradford. And what this allows you to do is now you can start creating inside your planning system all these different sections. So I could go into my templates folder here. I could grab a note page, copy that, go over to the Bradford project, and I could go ahead and paste that. I could go ahead and back to the templates and grab a meeting page and copy that, and I can go ahead and paste that. Why is that so powerful? Because one thing that OneNote allows you to do is create hyperlinks between paragraphs, pages, and sections. So I could go ahead and I could say this is meeting with Tom, and I could go ahead and copy link to page, go back to my daily page that we were on, and I go ahead and I could click on 7 a.m. Tom likes to meet early, and then hit paste. And guess what? That particular link is now there. Well, what happens if I click on that link? It takes me to that particular meeting page. Now, I might want to go a step further, knowing that this is a Bradford's project. I might want to go ahead and copy the actual section and copy link to section. Now I could actually go ahead in my to-dos and paste my link to my actual project session. Well, where is this really cool? You can do this to go ahead and map stuff out. I have a lot of people that will go into their notes section and they'll go ahead and they'll call this master to-dos. And what's so cool about this is now they have this master to-do list of all the things that's kind of in their capture board of what they want to do. And they'll actually right click and copy link to page on that. And then they'll go to their daily planner and they'll literally just go to each page during the week and click and go from one page to the next and just paste those daily to-dos in there. So they always have a point of reference where they can quickly jump back to that master list and easily see what they're looking to achieve. And that is just one of the many features that we teach in that video that we deep dive into, but it's one that's commonly used. Now, another one that's commonly used is the Outlook task. You can actually go ahead and create Outlook tasks. These tasks in the planner will actually synchronize over to your Outlook calendar. So you can have a source in your Outlook calendar that you can see all of your open tasks. And you can go ahead, once you put one of those in the notebook, you can actually, from this particular page, open up Outlook directly. Really cool feature. We cover that in that video as well. So I showed you a little bit about the actual system. The only other thing I want to showcase to you on here is if you go up to File and go over to Options, you have the ability to bring up the Display tab, and in here you can go ahead and choose to change the display of the page. I like to have everything display on the left side. Some people like to have stuff display on the right side, especially if they're left-handed or right-handed. It's nice to be able to move that navigation bar so you're not writing over top yourself. You can also go into View, and under View you have the ability to dock to desktop, which will make it kind of look crazy like this. And we'll bring that back. We can also go ahead and make it full page view, which will allow us to have a full page, and that makes our navigation tools up on top and all of our tools up here. This gives us a full canvas of OneNote, and that's one thing that's also very powerful about OneNote. It is an infant canvas, so you can easily like expand and make this bigger and add more tiles and make your dashboard as big as you like. And then you have the ability to still access all the individual pages. And you can go ahead and bring that down here to normal view, by doing so. And then there's a tab view that allows you to change if the tabs are vertical or horizontal if you want to have them go across the top. I like to have them vertical because when I bring up my iPad in either my Samsung tablet, I like to have that same look and feel with the tabs coming off the side, vertically speaking, as they do in my desktop. Now, what's also, if you haven't picked up on this, OneNote allows you to synchronize across all your Windows, Apple, and Android devices. When you go to installing the planner, you want to install it on your primary device. We have a couple different methods to do that. We include the instructions at the bottom of the email of your order, as well as on our website. There's a tab, total video instructions on how to do this. It shouldn't take less than 5 to 10 minutes to do so, and then you'll be able to synchronize the planner across all your devices. So those are some of the basic functionalities of actually being able to use OneNote. Like I said before, we have a deep dive that goes into the more advanced features. We also have a great video about designing a notebook and a planner just for like project management, where you can utilize some of our templates to do that as well. The next thing I want to talk to you real brief about is one common question that often comes up as anyone is exploring our planning system, and that is, does your system sync with my iCal, my Google Calendar, my Outlook, or some type of other electronic calendar? First and foremost, there is no digital planner out there, period, that does this. Okay, I want you to know that. There might be a lot of people that say we integrate or we sync, and they create secondary pieces that work, and I will tell you in every single case that I've looked at this, it's been a broken tool. What I want you to think about so much is when you're planning and using a planner, you are planning. When you're using a scheduling, you are really just scheduling out time. Nowhere in your schedule can you make plans, but with a planner, you can actually schedule your time. You just don't have the notifications. In this video right here, I show you my best practices to kind of bridge the two together. And what's really important by this is by using a planner, you're not just organizing activities and tasks, you're actually determining what matters most. You're making the best investments of your time. You're forward thinking in what is it you're looking to achieve. And that all can be done inside a planner, not something you can do in your Google Calendar. There is a purpose for both, and I believe if you watch that video right here, you'll definitely be able to see the value and determine what is the best method for you. I find a lot of people that migrate away from scheduling and just simply use a planner, and then I have a lot of individuals that utilize both, making the schedule as their primary 8 to 5 piece, but their planner is where they are driving themselves to move forward. So we talked a little bit about navigation. We started, again, using the tabs to get from one section to another. You can also use the hyperlinks to go ahead and navigate across the planning system. But we also have the ability to actually have multiple notebooks open. So you can actually even navigate between additional notebooks. Our planning system works in the fact that every year we give you a new notebook, just like back in the day when you had Franklin Covey, every binder was its own year. And I want you to think of this system as just that. It is a filing cabinet. Each drawer is its own year. In every drawer you have your own section. File folders, and inside those file folders you have pages. But what the beautiful part about that is some of the search tools. So I can go ahead and I can pull up the search tool right inside here, which you can find right here, and I'm in 2026. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and type in cheese. Now I'm going to go ahead and type in cheese. Now, if you guys don't know already, I am from Wisconsin and I love cheese. Well, you can see across here that there is a page on Saturday 24th that I found the word cheese. So what's really neat about this planning system and about utilizing OneNote is you can search across all notebooks in your piece. You can also just do off a particular page or particular section. When you make handwritten notes, those notes become searchable within 24 hours, so that way you kind of never really lose your thoughts and ideas. As we talked in our first video about the second brain, this is a great way to recall that information if you can only remember a keyword or a phrase or a little bit of information that you may have typed inside the planner itself. So the part that you guys are all here for is the customization. Everyone talks to me about the planner and they say, hey, how can I make it my own? How can I customize it? How can I make it so that it best benefits me? When we first designed the planner, I wanted to have a tool that people would be able to use and use it in a format that made sense with my planning ecosystem and all the tools and features that I taught. And if you haven't watched any of our training videos, I encourage you to do so. They are free and they are very valuable. They're led by me. They're free, valuable, led by me. Why wouldn't you want to watch them? Go ahead, check them out. But I built it so that you could follow my system and get all the benefits from it. But what I recognized through individual coaching and one-on-one time with people is everyone has a little bit different workflow. There's always the things that matter most, and the key three are really the cornerstone to our success. But there's other things that we do throughout the day that might change our own process or change our own workflow. So I wanted to give that flexibility for people to be able to do that. And you can see right here that we have some variations. Like this here is one of our Cornell tiles. This here is contact tiles. A lot of people in sales, they actually like to write out who it is that they're calling, what they discuss, so they have a little bit of notes. And then there's some areas for tracking travel, reading, prayer, and additional notes. Now, if you go to our website and you look at all the different tiles we have, there is a lot of them. And those tiles allow you to do a lot of different things. We have project tiles, meeting tiles, SWOT tiles, recipe tiles, contact tiles, tons of different tiles. And you can go in and see how each of them interact with our planning system. But you can pull those individual tiles to make your own pages. So when I come to making my own pages and you download our planner, you're going to get two different downloads. One is going to be a standard version and one is going to be a tile version. First and foremost, it's very important to know that with either edition, you can use tiles. The standard edition already comes with the layout of our standard page, daily page. The tiles edition comes out as a blank page that looks like this. So with the tile edition, it allows you to really create an artboard on how you want that particular planning system to look for you, and I'm going to show you how you can go ahead and create your own page now. And one good way to indicate if you're using a standard version or the tiles version, a lot of times if you go ahead and you click on an element and you see like a box around it and you can't like write or type in it, that element hasn't been set to background. And to do that, you go ahead and you click on that item, and with an iPad you can just tap and hold. With a desktop, you go ahead and right click and you would set page to background. That'll lock the page in, and then that way you can easily write and type over it and do so. But if you're on a mobile device or a tablet device and that's giving you a little bit of a hiccup, it's most likely because you haven't flattened that image yet. So the first thing we're going to do to create this custom page is I want to look at my daily tiles. These daily tiles have the ability for me to kind of customize my individual scheduling piece. So if you're someone that is looking for maybe a longer work day, 24 hours, maybe you want to have just blocks 4 times a day or 3 times a day, you could do that. Maybe you're looking for a little more detail and you want to have AM, PM, or even if you are in a position where you want to have 15-minute blocks, you can do that with these particular pages. And if you have a really crazy request, we can definitely customize something for you too. So I'm going to start by just going ahead and pick these 4 blocks. I'm going to go ahead and right click and hit copy. And I'm going to go to my first daily page, and I'm going to come here and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to click on it so my cursor is flashing and hit Control V. And that should already be scaled to size so it can fit just like that. And I can click and I can freeform it however I want, but just do your best to kind of put it where you think you want to do. And then I got to think, what is it that I want on the right side? Well, on the right side, I'm going to go into one of my other tiles. I'm going to go into my essential tile, and I want to have a space where I can go ahead and have some notes. So I'm going to go down here, click on my notes, and hit copy. Go back to that page, put the cursor up here, and hit paste. Now I have that note section here. Well, now I want to go ahead and think about some other elements. Well, one thing I want to do is I'm going to go in my daily tiles, and I'm going to come back over here, and I want to have a place for just an area of what my readings are for the day, what I'm thankful for, and what my prayers are. I'm going to go ahead and hit copy, go back into this page. I'm going to put that over here and put that right like that. And I'm in sales and I talk to a lot of people, and I obviously have them in my schedule, but I want to be able to keep track of that. So I'm going to go to my contact tile under my CRM toolkit, and I'm going to scroll down and find one of those call summary tiles right here. And I'm just going to go ahead and hit copy, go back to January, and place that right below there. And again, just building a framework of how all these pages are going to lay out. And then I want to have under project tiles, there is some really awesome different task assignment tiles. And I want to have one, I like this one here, but I also like this one over here. This one here gives me an expanded task list in a project. So what I'm going to do here, and my thought process behind this is I might have my standard to-dos over here, which are personal in relationship, and these over here might be just strictly work or project-based tiles, to-dos. So I kind of have that laid out. Now, anytime if I want to select a bunch of them, I can select a bunch of them, and I can rearrange them however I would like. So that's kind of the look of that, how I like it so far. I'm just kind of think, is there anything else in the tiles that I might want to add? And that's probably an important piece too, is kind of as you set this up, think about this like, okay, how do I want to set this up? And you might want to just do it for a month and then make adjustments. Because I can already tell you, after seeing this, I talk to more than 2 people a day. So I'm actually going to move this tile with the to-dos over here. And I'm going to go ahead and copy this. And I'm going to put one extra, probably 2 extra call logs. That's kind of nice. Now I have 2 extra call logs in there that I can sort through. And then what I might want to have is, just because these calls might need more conversation, I'm going to grab a Cornell tile. And the reason why I like Cornell in this case, it gives me a space where I can have a category on the side. So then that way I can not only put in, and again, if I want to be able to expand this page, I just click on the edge and then move this little cursor over, and it'll eventually give me more space. Just because I know that those particular calls, I can go ahead and categorize those calls and even draw in information. So now I have this little list here. Just thinking about it, I think this is pretty good. The only thing is I am not someone that works in all 4s. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. I'm going to go back to my daily tile, and I want to have the standard page here. Copy that back over, because I am setting this up for myself. I'm going to paste that back in there. And then the last thing that I personally want, and again, this is totally up to you and what you want to do, but I also want to have just one of these blank sections down here. And I want to have the meal plan. So I'm going to copy the meal plan. I'm going to hold the control key down. At the same time, I'll select both of them. And I'm going to go ahead and hit copy. And now I'm going to jump back. And I am just going to add these over here right below my schedule, because I feel like that is a little more fitting. So now I got a space for my day like that. So now looking at this, I'm going to zoom out, which you can easily do, and hit view. And I'm just going to hit the minus button and zoom out. You can kind of see I have this collection of tiles versus when I originally started, I had something that just looked a little less in that sense. Okay, cut that part out. So zoomed out, this is what I have now. Now, here's the part where it gets interesting. I did this for 1 page. I want to bring this over because obviously the next day has nothing on it. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to hold the control key down, and I'm going to select all those tiles that I just placed on here. Okay? They're all selected. I'm going to go ahead and hit Control C or Command C, so we're just copying them if you're on a Mac, and go ahead to Tuesday. And for the sake of your eyes and my eyes, I'm going to zoom back in. I'm going to put that cursor right up here in this top corner and hit Control V. And it's going to paste all those in there. I'm just going to bring it over here and realign it how I want it. Now, I've pasted all those in there, but I need to, why I have selected them all, I need to go ahead and hit right click and set the background. Now, every one of these tiles is set the background in my planner. And I've made a custom page. Now I'm going to go ahead to the next day of the week. Go ahead, use a select tool, hit paste, scroll back up. I'm going to go ahead and drag this up here. I'm going to right click, hit set the background, go to next day, go ahead and paste. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to complete this by just copying and pasting and putting these in here just as I want. And as long as I have them all selected and on my clipboard, I can easily go through and I can literally probably within a minute and a half, 2 minutes, I can customize the entire month and have an entire month that is personalized to my needs. So in the course of an hour and a half at most, you should be able to personalize the entire year and build out your own planning system. And if you're using our hyperlink edition, what's beautiful about this is none of that is broken. I can still go ahead and go back to the 5th of January, and it's going to take me to that particular page, and I'm still going to be able to use all the hyperlinks that are in it. And I can import, those hyperlinks from other places. I can use the same method to build personalized pages, custom pages. Maybe you want to do your own meeting pages or your own project pages. You can do that by simply creating this grid, selecting them all, and then going, pasting them, right clicking, and setting the picture as a background. And therefore, when I go to that page, I can pull up my stylus and I can actually go ahead and write directly on that. I can also go ahead and type directly on that. And that is what's going to make this system so powerful, because you're able to make it your own. And as we add more tiles to our repertoire, you're going to be able to personalize your planner even further. We have a new tile coming out that's called Third Thursday. It's going to be a tile that's really going to help you think about your planning and what you want to achieve each and every day by having clearer focus and truer intentions. And you're going to want to see that tile. We're also introducing some travel tiles, some additional health tiles. We're always creating tiles. But if you want to build a page, a planning system that is personalized to you, for you, but utilizing the power of the ecosystem of the Key to Success Planner, here you go. And I'll add one more thing to put a cherry on top. If you go out and you find other digital stickers that you want to pull into this system, we don't limit that. We encourage it. Go out there, find something else, pull it in our system, and continue to build the pages in a way that are going to make the best sense for you. So that is how you can utilize tiles to personalize your planner. The last thing I want to share with you is our professional coaching and training. There's tons of free training across our YouTube channel, so please subscribe to it, like the videos that are encouraging you and you're learning from, and share them with friends and colleagues that you feel will benefit from them. We also have a training series about how to maximize your productivity and to build framework around your goals and aspirations. But maybe you or your team or your business needs one-on-one coaching, mentoring. We offer personal, professional, and business coaching. We do it for those that are looking to grow their career. We also help with sales, marketing, and just executive training in general. And those programs are all available to you. You can meet with me on a monthly basis, quarterly basis, or a customized schedule that works best for your needs. I tailor every single coaching session to help you, my client, grow. And we do it through the planning system so that you're able to track and see your progress and stay sharp each and every day as we move through the process together. So with that being said, I encourage you to check out the link in the description on our business mentoring and see if that's something that fits for you. If you have any questions, go ahead and hit the comments, start a chat with us. But I hope that this is just a start of our journey together. And the Lord willing, I will see you guys real soon. God bless each and every one of you.